3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Hub Podcast. I'm your host, Cheney Passer. With me is Tired Courtney.
What?
You're tired.
You're not supposed to tell someone else they're tired.
You're tired.
Am I tired?
I can see it.
It felt really.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The bags under your eyes.
I didn't feel very tired today. I just kind of I got to sleep in, so that was very helpful, but I'm definitely going to need like multiple days of sleeping in, I think, to like fully recover. Thinking of working out today, I was like, that seems pushing it, but I think it's just like all around I'm a little bit tired. I don't know though. I also feel better this week than I have previous weeks with like going on these work weekends and stuff, which is weird because I was there for much longer and longer days and all that kind of stuff. But maybe I'm just so jazzed to see you that it's waking me up.
Yeah.
Energizing me.
I worked out today.
How was it? What did you do?
It was good. I did like T-bar row, lunges, some bicep pull-ups, some hanging leg raises, and some rotation, like shoulder rotation with the barbell. Those bicep pull-ups,
They're weird.
I tell you what, I think those are big time for the biceps.
My arms are so bad right now. They're slacky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you were saying that today.
I was like, they look like back how they used to, like just noodles. Like there's nothing to them right now. Absolutely nothing. I was thinking like, what?
I was gonna say, just with all the traveling and the conventions and stuff, you haven't been able to really. I think you even said it on here. You know, how many months ago or how many weeks ago of like, your focus is just work out as many times as you can, try to stay active, whatever. You don't really have any goals because of how busy this time of year is going to be for you. And this was the last regional one, so
Yeah,
you could start to get more focused on it if you wanted. But like, I mean, I would also take a little bit of time to, regroup and get normal, because we might be leaving and you're going to be going to Florida again at the end of the month. And
yeah, I feel like the rest of my body though is still keeping intact somewhat. Like my legs are much smaller now, but like I feel like my torso, like my abs and like upper body, like my chest, my shoulders are smaller, but like nothing is like, whoa, it looks like you're not in shape. My arms just look like I don't really do anything with them. But my arms are really hard to get any sort of like
you've had a hard time
look
building
difference. Like even though I'm like doing it consistently, like you can't see it.
Yeah,
would
you say that that's the hardest area on your body to like grow or kind of make look how you want or get definition, whatever, any of those things?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I think I like shoulders so much, is because it kind of creates the illusion that I have good arms. But it's just because like I can get my shoulder caps popping very quickly. Yeah. But my bicep, tricep, forget it.
Yeah, I think for me it always used to be legs, but now I think it's chest. Like I think I can kind of get I think it's just been the consistent like doing legs for how many years, and it's just like my body has never wanted to have good legs or big legs, but I feel like that's finally starting to come. But it's my chest. I just cannot get my chest to be big, and it could be just posture. I tend to hunch even in this chair, but I just can't. I can never get my chest where I want it to be. My shoulders I like, arms, bicep, tricep. My back, I've always like. Back is my favorite.
Back is your best, yeah.
It's my favorite to do too, so that makes it easy. But man, I just can never get my chest to be what I want it to be.
I feel like your structure of your body, and not saying like, oh, you can't get it because of your genetics, but like the structure of your torso would make sense why it would be hard for your chest to show or develop even. Like the way that you stand, the way that your like alignment is. Like I feel like you would have to really build out your chest in order to see it. because your torso is so long that your chest just kind of melts in.
Yeah.
That you would need to kind of grow it out also because it just gets lost.
Yeah, I've never really focused hardcore on chest before. I've done it with my back, I've done it with my legs. Chest I've always just kind of gone through the motions with. If I think about like fitness journey in general of like overall, I've never really been like, I really want to make my chest really awesome. It's always just been like, oh, there's part of my workout, you do it and you get it done or whatever, but I haven't really like dove into it or
and what we have right now equipment wise, it's not like you can do a whole bunch. You don't get that variety and the amount of volume that you should be putting in to develop it. But
no.
But
it's arms, bicep, tricep.
That's the biggest thing that even though they weren't that developed before, it's enough for me to like look at them like there's nothing there. Like seeing myself from the side, or even in like pictures all the time now, like I'll see myself from the side and I'm like it's nothing. It's a chicken wing. To where before there was at least some curvature to it or some width that you could tell there's probably muscle underneath it. That right now it's like,
which I think again for us, like with the equipment that we have right now, it's hard for you to get bicep and tricep in just because we don't have any lighter weights or light enough weights or dumbbells or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like I can do bicep pull-ups, whatever. It's like you're not able to do those quite yet.
No. But the things that I feel like we have the equipment for, like that's one thing that I know about myself now, having more time under my belt with working out consistently, is I know what won't take long for me to bounce back. Like my abs, my core, my shoulders, which then again accentuates my arms. Like I'll put in 2 weeks of maybe a little bit more consistency and I'll be right back to what I looked like. Even if I took 2-3 months off. My legs, no, it takes a long time to like see any change. To where it does hold on to the muscle still, but I think like my body naturally, like my sitting point falls back into that like slender dancer body thing. Yeah, so when I stop lifting as heavy, like my legs just kind of like shrink back up and my butt just shrinks back up, but also like my stomach does too. So everything does just kind of get smaller to where then as soon as I start lifting again, like the little bit of depth comes back in my shoulders. My abs just get a little bit tighter and then are more defined. But the places where I want like the bulk, that takes me a bit to get back to. Yeah.
That's what everybody says about me as a dancer body. I just look like a good dancer.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm
a better dancer than you too. So
I feel like I told the girls that I work with this weekend, like Sarah, Abby, and maybe Caitlin was standing there. But I was like, it sounds weird, but like I would want Cheney's body. Like you have all the things that I want. Like you have big defined legs, you have a huge butt, the abs are still like very, like you have a narrow torso. And I'm like, oh yeah, everything. That's what I want.
I feel, again, we brought this up before. Girls always want what the guys have, and guys want what the girls have.
What do the guys want?
Oh, like girls naturally have bigger legs.
But do guys want that?
Yeah,
I feel like I've never heard a guy say, I want bigger legs.
Oh, really? I mean,
never.
That's the problem, though, is the guys you're talking to don't even do legs. So
the guys who are these guys?
Well, I mean, people that we have talked to. People in the past or whatever. Sure. They don't want to work.
People of the past.
People of the past. They don't want to work on legs. Legs are hard. They're challenging. They're, Yeah. But I think naturally guys want bigger legs, or they want, especially if you're in the fitness world and you're kind of, bodybuilding-esque. You're wanting to grow a certain physique or whatever. I think for guys, a lot of the time they want bigger legs, but they don't want it. They don't want to do it as much because you want to look proportionate. You don't want to be the guy in the gym that's got to wear sweatpants because your legs are so skinny mini. And
that's what I feel like the fitness space jokes about. But like, I think if you say most guys, I think that's a pretty high generalization because I think like most guys, they're they don't realize, like, you're not proportionate. Doesn't that look weird to you? It's like, no, because I have a big chest and big upper back and big arms.
I think they definitely care about those things as well. Like they want a big chest and whatnot too. But I think legs is always one that is on the agenda, but they don't want to necessarily do squats and lunges, and it's hard.
Yeah.
Chest is easy. You just get in a bench and you push a bar off.
Yeah.
You know, or you do flies. Like chest, all the exercises are fun for those.
Because you lay down.
Yeah, you lay down. You're having sleep while you're doing them.
That's like the Crystalia thing of why baseball was his favorite sport. Because you only play like 20% of the game.
Yeah, you're taking breaks.
Yeah.
Just standing around
a lot
half
of breaks.
the time. But yeah, legs, big calves.
Calves for sure.
Calves, something people are always talking about. That might be it. Maybe just the legs and stuff. Abs. But
I don't feel like.
and then the girls
abs,
want the big butt, and they want the defined
low
arms,
body fat and
low body fat, and yeah, shoulders.
Yeah.
Good shoulders, that sort of stuff.
I know that's one thing that actually really bothers me or bums me out when I see a guy who looks really cool in an outfit, and I like tried to replicate the outfit. I'm like, oh, this is not gonna look like this on me. Like you have to have the body underneath to make it hang like that or whatever. Like I'll see like a skinny guy like with flat chest and everything. I'm like, oh, I can't make it look like that.
Yeah, that's weird that you're looking at guys like I want to.
Oh, I feel like
I
get a lot of like fashion inspiration from guys not more than I do girls, but probably equal amount.
That's so weird. I feel like I'm a fashion icon and you never wear what I.
You only wear like athletic stuff. I'm not an athletic-y wearing person.
That's right. You're not.
Not at all.
You're not an athletic person.
Well, then exactly the outfits. I'm just like, I'm a poser.
Well, everybody else is a poser.
Well, I don't need to be that. They can be a poser.
You don't.
I don't need to be that. Everything else, I can create my own reality. That, like, you don't need to see me in like the full like Nike gear, or even just like the like runner, like the running shorts.
That's so you.
I'm just like,
you're a runner.
I show up in that.
Oh my God.
They're gonna be like,
you run like 5 miles a day.
It would look ridiculous. I wouldn't even know how to carry myself in that outfit. To me, we've said this so many podcasts ago. Outfits inspire how I act.
Yeah,
it creates a vibe to where that I can't be that person. I can't be the sporty girl.
Why not?
That's not who I am at all. The other ones I can at least like kind of see myself be.
I just see you with that on. You're just like, give me a ball. Give me a ball. Give me a basketball. Throw me a football.
Yeah,
give me
like
a ball.
A t-shirt and shorts, but like t-shirt like not oversized like this where it's like trying to still be like cool girl with it.
Why is it
I don't feel cool at all in that stuff. That's the thing. I don't feel cool in that. If it was like tight leggings, like what I wore the other day over the weekend, like I looked.
Oh yeah, that one.
No, I'll explain the outfit. You'll know what I'm talking about. I was wearing the Lululemon. This is gonna sound like head to toe Lululemon, but I was wearing my Lululemon blue leggings and then my black Lululemon zip up. So everything was like super cinched and like silhouette. Where I can do that, but that still looks more like me because it's just tight. It's just like spandex tight. It's not like I'm looking like I'm gonna go for a run in that. That's what I can't pull off. Like if it's like you could be going to an athletic practice in that, I can't pull it off.
You don't even want to wear that stuff though either.
No, but like you said, why don't I ever take fashion advice from you? That's all you wear.
Yeah.
So I can't fit into that.
I just think wear whatever you want to wear.
I know.
You want to wear a jean jacket, go ahead.
Yeah. But that's why, like, when I see a lot of guys' outfits, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then I try to replicate that outfit. Because I think it looks cool on them.
Why guys and not girls?
I do for both.
Why guys?
Because some guys dress like super cool. Like I think of like certain styles that guys wear girls have kind of made it their own, but it's still probably influenced by guys. Like the whole like over like the boyfriend jeans, like super baggy jeans and the ripped up jeans, or oversized t-shirts and sweatshirts. I feel like that has come from like wearing your boyfriend's clothes, but now we've just created like, oh, that's normal for girls to do, and we've made it a different kind of girly thing. But I feel like that comes from guys' fashion, or like baggy joggers, baggy sweatpants. Same thing. Took that from more men's fashion.
I see a theme here.
What?
You guys are just always stealing our fashion. You just want to be us so bad.
But I also think like with the dance world, like a lot of, I think like, I don't know, like guy friends that I have, all of them are more like hip hop dancers. So it's just that like, I don't know, like cool shoes, the cool colorful joggers and printed pants with like really oversized t-shirts and like cool trucker hats. It's like, oh, that look is so cool, but I don't have the skinny boy vibes to go with it. So it just doesn't look the same or hang on me the same.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a damn thing about fashion. I don't care. I could care less. I got stuff from 8th grade still, probably.
No, I do too.
You know?
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, but
Sure,
you've
I
got
do. A lot from 8th grade.
Yeah. Well, you've got like probably 10 times the amount of clothes I have. I gotta do laundry like 2 times a week. I have no clothes.
Who's got a bigger problem then?
You.
Seems like both of them are your problems.
You're a hoarder.
Both of them are your problems. The only reason you don't like that I have a lot of clothes is because it takes up your space.
No, that's not a reason.
Okay, why do you not like that I don't have a lot of clothes?
I think it's silly.
Why?
Because it's like you can't even wear all those clothes within a month's time.
But you don't, and
You end up wearing the same amount of clothes I do, anyways.
Yeah, but you don't enjoy clothes. Like you don't enjoy looks.
You're right. I wish I could just
Wear the same thing every day.
Yeah.
You do. It's just different colors and versions of the same
different
thing.
articles.
It's the same. It's the exact same thing.
It's great.
See, that would bore me. Like you've never been excited about an outfit.
Never.
Yeah. See, you don't get it.
It's silly.
It's not silly. It's just another thing to be excited about. Why is that silly? Another thing to enjoy about your day. Every day could be fun, but depending on what you wear and what you look like.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with music for me, though. It's like I just don't get anything from it.
Yeah. I'm sure there's something that you have, but it's not silly. It's just another thing that
It's silly.
I get to enjoy. Why is that silly?
Let's just settle on it's silly. Let's come to the middle and just say it's silly.
Okay. It could be silly, but
what would you
I'm
do?
probably way better than most girls. Also.
You are better. You're better in every way.
Thank you.
Except
I actually feel like they probably get rid of a lot more clothes than I do, to where most of the girls that I know, like they're buying new stuff all the time. To where I just keep it, but like I don't really buy a lot of new stuff. Rarely do I buy new stuff, but if I'll have it for 5 to 7 years.
if you were to start a new workout program, what would your goal be?
This is probably so sad to admit this, but anytime you ask me a question, I get so excited.
I know you do.
Because I'm just like, you actually care about something I'm saying?
We've
And you're prepping it? Not like, let me tell you about something.
We've literally never talked about this, but I've known that about you. I know you get giddy every time I ask you about you.
Because it just gives me free reign to not feel guilty about talking about myself. Because you opened it up.
Sounds like a you problem.
I'm not.
That's the name of the episode.
I'm not
you problem.
I'm not requesting for you to ask me questions all the time.
Oh, that's all you're doing.
I kept it a secret this whole time that I even like it.
You just walk around. Wish I was asked another question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Your question was if I was going to start a new workout program?
Yeah, like with Dupre kind of coming to a close for the year, there's still a couple more things and whatever, but you maybe have more time to like dive into something fitness wise, whatever, like what would you
Sure.
do? Like what?
Of course, I'm like, I don't have any time. What are you talking about?
No, yeah,
And
well,
just
sure.
add it on other things and replace it that time. But no, I get what you're saying.
Well, to where it's like you're not literally gone 4 days out of the week,
Right.
you know, every week. It's you're actually going to be home, and
I feel like just getting back doing it consistently, like as far as like 4, 5, 6 days a week, which is just what we typically fall into.
mm-hmm.
I'm just going to focus on that and eating regularly. Like I've been eating out. So, I mean, I eat out like 3 meals a day, 4 days a week. So even just getting back to like eating at home and working out that amount of time, that's all I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to focus on like a specific goal or put a program together for myself until we move.
Oh, sure.
Because I still feel like there's a lot mentally and
Yeah.
stuff going on that, and just like with the equipment that we have, and I'm not like I'm not sparked or inspired by working out right now. So if I have a goal, I want it to come from like, ooh, not just like because I have to. Like I would rather do the same freaking workout for the next 2 months than have like a direction. So I'll probably just do whatever you do.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
what
and
are we doing?
I'm slowly getting there too. I'm slowly getting a spark of like this is getting exciting again. You know,
Cool.
like I think for a while it's been just kind of go through the motions a little bit or kind of try something out, but the motivation hasn't really been there. You know, it's kind of like all things seem to kind of be coming to a what's the word? Like synergy, or like all, you know, it's kind of all coming at the same time of like, oh, I'm getting motivated to do this, and I also want to like put a program together or do something in that area or whatever. It's kind of all coming to where before it was like, oh, I'm trying to do this thing, but I'm really not motivated for it. And like we've brought up, we don't really have the equipment to do a whole bunch of stuff. Like we're just have our garage gym and just have a rack with a barbell and some weight. So like everything has been barbell basically for the last year, which has still been good. It's still been awesome because it's like you're doing a lot of stuff that you usually wouldn't do before.
And consistently, like
Yeah.
you do legs, you don't have like extension, leg curl, leg press, any of the more fluffier things.
Yeah. It's like you
Or
want to
even
work
weight,
on
like even like just like regular free weights, you know. So it's like
dumbbells.
every
and
time
stuff.
you do lunges, it's with the bar. You're doing squats probably every leg day. You're like even just the like deadlifts. Like we're doing deadlifts way more because just the options are a little bit more limited.
Yeah.
But you're doing the major, bigger bang for your buck ones.
Otherwise,
pretty much all
the
time.
You're not doing anything because it's just what we got. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm getting kind of ramped up to do more or get into it a little bit more. Maybe do a little bit longer of workouts or something rather than just doing like the 5 exercises that I do usually. But yeah, I don't know. So it's funny that we're kind of at different points where it's like you're just not really feeling a spark, and it's like, oh, I'm starting to feel like, oh yeah, let's get into this now. Let's really dive in and try to do something. So I think that's partially why I asked too, is just like because I'm starting to feel that way.
I'm feeling like I need fitness to just be the consistent and the constant. I don't need it to be the what I need to work hard on. I already, even still coming out of the work weekends, like it still feels like I can't catch my breath.
It's like you need to have it not be something that you have to think hard about or put a ton of energy to. Like it's still going to be part of the weekly routine. You're still going to do it and get it done, but it's not like kind of like what I'm saying that I'm maybe wanting to do of like it really become a focus in my life, you know, of doing something or trying to, you know, set a goal and reach it or whatever. It's like it just needs to be kind of the constant for you rather than the, you know, focus on and build upon and all that kind of stuff.
Right. I need it just for health.
Yeah.
And to like keep me moving. But if I'm going to do a program, I have a goal and I go all in on it. To where like each workout I'm thinking about, I'm planning it, I'm prepping my body, I'm recovering my body, I'm eating in a certain way for that that I'm like, there's still so, like, to me, it's like, okay, there's 2 months until we move. It's going to be nonstop. Until then, that thinking of like adding in another element seems like, again, it's just like that. It doesn't seem fun. It seems like I'm adding again more.
Yeah, which I
Even
think
talking about it, I'm like, this is how I'm talking about it is ridiculous. I'm not like, oh my gosh, that sounds like a great idea. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting annoyed in this conversation. I'm like, oh, more things I need to do? Okay.
yeah. Well, I think this is a perfect time to, kind of perfect time to talk about it a little bit too, because it's like these are the two ends of the spectrum that people tend to be on, you know. And if you do it long enough, you're gonna hit both of these points. Like, it just needs to be kind of on the back burner and something that I do for 3-4 days a week, and I do it to keep my body moving, to keep my health, but that's about it. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where it's like, okay, I really want to put a lot of emphasis on this, and I want to try to reach a goal and do, have a program and do a program and all that kind of stuff, to where, yeah, you're on the opposite end. It's just like, let me just show up to the gym, do a few exercises, and then get out of here. Make sure I keep my health. So it's like, both are okay. I think a lot of the push from fitness industry or just like public is like, you need to have a goal and you need to, you know, yeah, you need to have a goal and you need to put out these steps to achieve this thing and do this program and eat this way and have all these things happening, to where some people just aren't motivated, or they have a bunch of other stuff going on in their life, that it's totally fine to just show up at the gym, do 4 or 5 exercises, and then leave. And make sure you do that 3 or 4 days a week, and it be kind of on the back burner. It just be, whatever, as long as it stays constant. But there's always that push of like, you need to be doing something amazing and crazy, and it's like, no, you don't.
And I know I'll get back to that. I think moving and getting into a new space with more equipment and just getting again into a different flow, I think I'll get inspired again and get excited about it. But even just going, like, doing it consistently with eating consistently is already going to be a change and going to be an add to what we talked about, balance of, maybe not adding everything in, but taking some away and then adding it. That I feel like right now I can't so much take away from other areas, and other things are being added in, with just the move and other things, like I'm back now more. So I'm also teaching my regular job more, that the thought of like being excited about that just doesn't do it for me. But I am happy to be able to go back to doing it consistently, because my body just doesn't feel as good. Like, that's the biggest thing that I'm noticing is, it's not even it could be the working out, but even just like eating out more, like I feel bloated more often. My skin doesn't look as good. My like digestion isn't as normal as what it used to be. That I'm excited just to get back to like feeling good.
Yeah. I think that's hard, kind of mindset wise. A lot of the time is like, you maybe don't feel good, but then you also don't want to work out, to where you kind of know working out would make you feel better, or eating better would make you feel better, but it's harder to get up and work out. And it's kind of this like catch-22 in a way, or it's hard to take that first step to go work out, but then once you do, you feel a lot better. Like you said, everything, digestion feels better, your body just feels better. But it can be hard to just not sit in the muck, kind of, to where it's like, oh, I want to get up and do it, but I don't want to get up and do it. But I don't want to sit here, but I don't want to get up.
Which I think just being home and eating regularly will help me get out of that, to where then like the energy will come back, and like I'm wanting to get back to doing yoga more, because I have not done that in forever. That typically helps the ball
and
start
sleep.
to roll. But yeah, sleep and food are my biggest, like, where I think I will notice a change, because those are the two things that have been screwed up the most.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I feel like just overall feeling day to day is going to be smoother, which is then going to help me manage, what's to come a little bit, just in a healthier mind and emotional space.
Do you think like with these weekends, you you could tell or notice like the quote unquote stress, like not as much sleep and the days are long and you're maybe not eating as well, you're not exercising as much, like not literal stress of like you're panicking or anything like that, but
Right.
just the stress of not sleeping, not exercising, not eating right, working. Do you feel like you could feel that or notice that? Or do you just get so used to it that like this is just normalcy now, and then you're kind of home a little bit more now to where it's almost like this is a little bit of stress because things are changed?
I feel like I noticed it as far as like my physical of I would come back home and it would start to like regulate and I would start to feel better. But on those weekends, like I would get so bloated and like get stomach aches and just like I would feel gross and even if like I don't know, like I think it's also just flying. I've heard that too, which I gotta listen to the Ben Greenfield podcast that he talked about it because I feel like he's talked about that of the bloating and I think he took like charcoal tablets or something because it's every single time where like I
Fly.
would get stomach aches. Yeah, to where like I couldn't even drink like a sparkling water on the plane because it would like light my stomach up for 2 days. Um, so I noticed that, and midway through the season when we got to like our run of them, like I've never broken out on my face like that
Sure.
since like middle school. Like
Yeah.
I don't typically have acne. Like I'll have like a pimple here and there, but to have like consistent breakout, that is not normal for me. And I have nothing else that I can really connect that to besides just, stress of different places and hotels and different foods and
Yeah.
whatever, lack of sleep. That was a physical. I feel like I didn't notice as much on the weekends as much as I did during the days that I was back of like, I feel like I had such brain fog. Like I was not working at the capacity that I normally do. And I think when I'm on those weekends, I'm on such
You're on alert.
to where
Yeah.
it's like I put all of my brain power into those few days that when I come back and then just like teach and I do my other jobs, it's like I'm working at less of a percentage.
Well, I bet
Because
it's
I was
like,
like I was missing things. I was like making more mistakes than I normally do, or when I was teaching, like I was getting like I have the most patience with kids, and I'm like I've heard, or like you probably heard how many times on these podcasts, like I'm just complaining about them, like I'm yelling at them and I'm getting annoyed. That is not usual for me. That consistently.
I bet there's just like boredom too. When you're used to like being on such high alert, and it's like um, I don't know, just like that kind of atmosphere. You're used to that for, 4 days or however long. And then you come back and it's really slow. The days are slow. Things aren't really happening that quick. And I bet it's just boring. And it's like that kind of gets to you of like, you're used to it being so fast paced and quick and like on high alert. And then all of a sudden you're living this boring, non-exciting life. And things just kind of become a little bit more irritating because it's just like, I don't know, it's not quick.
I don't feel the boredom. It almost feels like the opposite of I'm doing so much and I feel like I'm on such high alert on those weekends that when I come back and then other things are required of me, like texting people or being a girlfriend to you and being there for you and talking to you and like my other jobs, I'm just like, what? You expect something from me? Like, do you not know the space I'm in?
So do you
It's
feel
like
like
I
you're
couldn't
drained?
function in like regular life. It was like I was so those weekends and in that headspace that when I came back, I couldn't calibrate quick enough before I left again. So I felt like I was always like playing catch up with work stuff, or I just like wasn't the same fully present person.
Hmm.
I feel like I had way less of a bandwidth for other things then.
Which is weird. Like, why do you think that? Because those weekends are way more, they require way more bandwidth than the stuff that happens here.
Because I think I give my all for those weekends.
So you
That it's
feel
like
like,
I have nothing left, but yet so much is still required of me when I am here. Not like physically, like not like just here, but like when I come back.
So you feel like there's more that's required of you here than on those
No,
weekends?
not that there's more, but just the fact that there's any requirement of me. I'm like, oh, I drained myself on that weekend. I can't handle anything else, but I still have to do other things.
Yeah. Well, that's why Terrell told you to take Mondays off.
I know. I am so happy that I listened because I was like, no, I got to work Monday, Tuesday. I was going to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, leave on Thursdays, and be gone the rest of the weekend. Could you imagine? No way. No way. Even with not having the added Tuesday now, and I was just basically teaching on Wednesday and then doing the admin stuff. Like, oh my gosh, even that. Like I said, even that, I was like, this is too much. Let alone have 2 more full teaching nights. No. That is one time that I'm happy that I did not just do the yes game. And think like, oh no, I can handle it all.
Yeah, you don't say no very much. You're not really good at that yet. Which I think is it's been partially to your benefit though. Saying yes to things, you're getting all these opportunities, all these things, and it's creating more and whatnot. But yeah, you gotta be able to manage it too. Like you gotta be able to say no when things are too overwhelming.
And I think this year has taught me to doesn't mean that no is a never. It just means like saying no potentially could make both parties come out on the better side at the end. To where like, all my jobs that I have currently right now, at the beginning of when
all 25 of them,
when I got hired or whatever, got the promotions or blah blah blah, all of them asked me if I wanted to do more of that job or more of the things or take on more of the whatever. To where with doing these weekends more, and I've never done that before, I wanted to see how I did with what that workload would be with all of those things, knowing, okay, I can just add it on potentially later, but I don't want to do that now. Rather than before, maybe, like most time I would be like, oh, just say yes and just you deal with it.
just
you figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like, well, but at the end of the day, if you start not performing as well, or you eventually have to like weaken your workload because you can't handle it or whatever, like now they're in the same spot. Why don't you just add at an appropriate amount what you can handle and kind of like gradually build to that?
Yeah, but that's where people, and I think you included, kind of are unaware. You think you can handle everything and anything. I think there's typically two trains of thought. It's like it's either that or it's the opposite of like, oh, there's way too much. Like I can't handle even this one job. I can't handle anything. And then the other person's like, well, I can handle everything all the time, always and forever and ever. So it's like there's usually like the yes person and the no person. Somebody who says no to everything and then nothing is happening, and then somebody who says yes to everything and everything's happening, but they're overwhelmed. And both those people need a little bit of dose of the other.
Right.
A lot of the time. And that can be hard to figure out when you're on one of those sides is, because it's like, even you saying that, like, and then like steadily grow and gradually do it, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but you think you can handle everything all the time. Like you said, you were going to work Monday through Sunday and try to figure that out and do that. But you had to have people tell you like, that's maybe not a good idea. And it was kind of not normal for you to say, okay, I'll take that advice and not do it.
Right.
You're used to like, no, put it on my plate. My plate's big enough. Put it on my plate. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this is way too full.
Well, and that's something that, like both people, like my boss on those weekends, and then is also what like Terrell said too, like prepare yourself for like, this is going to be a lot. Like you haven't done these weekends as consistently as we do. So
yeah,
prep yourself for that. It's going to feel like a lot. So then when I was offered more work with it, I feel like that I got the same advice when she offered it of like, think of your future for this. Like It might feel fine now, but think of you when we're back-to-back weekends. Then does it still feel manageable?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, maybe not.
Right.
But another thing that she said that makes a lot of sense that I'm feeling more now is like as you do this workload more, and just like anything else, like why you do it gradually is because you can handle more as you move on and grow up and whatever. That's kind of the point. Like you're not supposed to, you can gain more responsibility, gain more jobs, gain more things that you need to be responsible for because you get comfortable with what you have. To where she's like, most of the things that you're going to start out with, it's going to seem like a lot, and you're going to have to think about it and think about all the little details. To where by the end of the season, which I'm noticing now, like I don't even have to write down like my schedule and what my jobs are. Like there's a flow, there's a schedule to it. I know what each thing requires and blah blah blah. That it doesn't drain me as much because those little details just are, like muscle memory.
Yeah, they're
now,
a habit.
Then you can, because she also showed me like her whole pre-event like checklist, and it was like 3 pages long of like the smallest little font. And she's like, I have to do all this between each week or each weekend. And in my head, I'm like,
that's impossible.
What? But even she says, she's like, but I know what everything on that list is.
Yeah.
Because I've done it for how many years now. So it's like little things like that I'm trying to take into consideration when I'm saying the yes or the no. It's not a never. I won't ever do it. But right now I'm trying to do the best version of this job that I can. And that maybe requires a little bit less, more quantity over quality, that I can maybe add the quantity as we go. If it starts to feel like, okay, well now I like kind of get the hang of it and I could handle more, or I want more. I'm wanting to learn more of something.
What's the same with fitness? It's the same with working out and eating right and all that kind of stuff. What we talk about all the time is like you don't want to add too much too quickly, because then it becomes overwhelming and then you end up abandoning the whole thing and it was too hard. It's like you want to start with, okay, I just need to go to the gym twice a week. And then once you can do that consistently and it becomes the habit, it becomes something you don't really even have to think of, you just do naturally and normally, then you can maybe start focusing on, okay, let me try to figure out how to eat a little bit better. And then you start doing that and you start eating better, and then that becomes a habit and it's easy and it's seamless. And now it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll add another day and I'll go 3 days a week now. And you slowly do that. You start with one thing, you get good at it, it becomes a habit, becomes easy, seamless, then you add something. Rather than like, I'm going to change my diet and work out 4 days a week and, do cardio on top of that and do yoga, and you're just adding all of these things when you're starting from kind of nothing. It's like, that's a recipe for it all to collapse and it to not be good. It's probably better for you to, like with this example, you started with just the one thing, and now that you've done a season of it, it's like, okay, this is seamless now. Like I can do this pretty easily. Let me add something else to it now, rather than like, I've never even done this before and they're already asking me to do more. That would be silly to take that on, because I don't even know how much workload this one thing is.
Yeah.
So it's like, experience it first and see if you can handle it or figure out how to handle it. And then once you can, then add something to that. Rather than like the season didn't even start and it was like, here, do you want to do this and this and this and this? And it was like, well, maybe, but it's probably a good thing you didn't, because you didn't even know what the beginning was. Like it's like you don't even know what it's like to go to the gym twice a week and you want to try to go, or once a week and you want to try to go 4 times.
Right.
It's like you can't even go once a week yet. So why are you thinking about 4 times?
And I think that's what's I need to keep thinking about with work is like, I want something that is needing to be a commitment. Like I need to be able to show up, and not that like this isn't unlike me. Like it's not like I typically quit things or leave when, like that's not, I finish the commitment. I finish until, whatever.
Yeah, you're just broken at the end of it.
But to try to like I was seeing it as like, okay, if I add this on or all these things on, what if I do this job for the next 5 years or 10 years or whatever? Like if I'm starting this now and it's super difficult for me to even get through a season, then my next year is a harder season. Like it's not like, oh, I just get to like try, I just have to power through. It's like, no, you're not like making this your life. So make sure that you can gradually get to that and add it on, and it's a positive experience, and you're creating something good with it.
Yeah. Which is
I'm learning though.
It's the
I'm
same.
learning. I feel like I did really good with that this year, with that job.
Yeah, I think you did good with everything this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you did good with everything. I mean, yeah. I think it's the same as what we say with fitness stuff. It's like if you're gonna add something, you typically need to take something out. That or start small. It's kind of both of those things and probably multiple things put together. That like, yeah, you don't want to go too much too fast and just put everything on your plate without taking anything off of it, kind of thing. Like, you just end up getting overwhelmed and stressed, and then everything collapses and falls in front of you and ends up not being a good experience. And then it kind of deters you from going back and doing that again, when in reality it could have been really awesome. You start with 4 days a week exercising. It's like, yeah, it's going to be a tall task when you never go. And then that, ends up being a bad experience because it's too demanding. You're less likely to go after it again because you think that that's what the requirement is, to where it's like, no, just go once, just do 1 day a week. That can be manageable, and that can be a lot easier, and then slowly go into it. But we want the results fast, and we want like everything all up front, all at once. We don't want to take time to build and take time to grow things and take time to, it's like we plant a seed, we want it to grow tomorrow. It's like, well, that's not how it works. Like, you plant it and you be patient with it and you work on it, and it grows over years and years and years. And then you have this big ass oak tree in your front yard. It's like, that's how it works. It doesn't, Rome wasn't built in a day, that whole thing. It's
Yeah.
like, it takes time and consistency. That's like fucking everything. Everything is that. It's nuts. And it's like even more and more as we go along. I feel like in this time of existence, we want things quicker and quicker. If our Amazon package isn't here tomorrow, I'm fucking through the roof. That sort of thing. I ordered a book today, and it's like, I gotta wait a week? What? A goddamn week? It's like, I'll drive there tomorrow and get my book,
Yeah.
It's like, we get all weird. It's like, yeah, just be patient. Especially at this time in existence where things are so quick. You open your phone, it's like people can't even put in their 4-digit passcode anymore. That's too slow. Face, recognize it, open. It's like, fucking holy, just calm down, The DMV is the most hated place. The hospital is the most hated place because you got to wait. It's like, woo.
Well, even think of the airport. Like,
Yep.
people don't want to wait in regular security, so now there's the TSA. Well, even the TSA was too crazy. People needed a quicker line than that.
Yeah,
So now
clear.
Clear.
Yeah.
But they'll pay how much money to be a Clear member
Yep.
just because they can't wait in a line.
Yep.
Even though they're there 2 hours earlier anyways.
Yep.
It's just they don't want to wait for something. They'd rather go sit and wait. Or that. As soon as the board... this is like all airport. I get why comedians have so many bits on like going to the airport
Travel
or talking about the travel, because like, holy
just so
crap,
much
when it's
shit.
half of your life.
Yeah.
I know, I'm just like, every single time, these are my pet peeves of the airport. But this is going back to what you're saying. It's all about the waiting and the patience. We don't have any patience with anything.
Yeah.
As soon as they open up boarding, every freaking group stands up.
Yeah.
And the groups, and like some of them, like Southwest, they have you, like, they give you a number, but you're not in a specific group. It'd be like, say I'm like 58 to board or something. They have you put like 1 through 25 over here, 25 through 58 line up over here. And then they know, okay, 59 through whatever is going to be in the next group.
Mm-hmm.
Well, say I was 58, 60 and plus were in front of me, to where I get into line the very last second because I don't need to be there in the plane longer. But I'm still getting on board when my group is, because I don't want to mess up the order. And I asked them like, oh, I'm sorry, are you guys like in, because you're supposed to like get on like in a numerical order. I was like, oh, I'm 58. Are you guys like, am I in the right spot? Like, I didn't want to go ahead of them. Like, oh no, we're 60, blah, blah, blah. It's like, why are you even in line?
Yeah.
You're just waiting.
Yeah. It's like
And that's happened multiple times where they'll like be in line. I'm like, or like they'll be like right, even if it's like boarding groups, and they'll just be like hanging out right by the entrance. It's like, you're 5 groups from now.
Yeah.
Why do you need to get on? As soon as we land, people stand up.
Yeah.
You're in the way back of the plane. You're going to wait 10 minutes just standing up.
Yep. Baggage
claim. Why, as adults, do we think... this is so stupid, but I've been needing to get this off my chest, apparently. Baggage claim. People are waiting this close to the... What is it called?
Yeah.
Like the carousel.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Why, as an adult, are we not going, well, hey... Not everybody on the plane can be right next to the freaking thing. So if someone sees their bag, you're going to have to move, or they're going to miss grabbing their bag.
Yeah.
Why can't we all back up? And then when you see your bag, you walk up and you grab it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to get it that much quicker if you're right there versus everybody take 3 steps back and we can all just watch from a little bit farther away, and then you go up and grab your bag.
Yeah. That's why with the baggage claim thing, I always just stand like basically where the end of the carousel is, because everybody goes to where it's going to pop down first. Mm-hmm. It's like, let me just go stand at the end where there's literally nobody, and I'll wait the extra 30 seconds for my bag to come around the corner. Like, that's literally what you're waiting, is 30 seconds. Like, it is. There's such a lack of patience that I think it's, for me, when everybody zigs, like I try to zag. So it's like we're becoming less and less patient. We're becoming more impatient. That's like, okay, I'm going to really work on being even more patient, because, it's just like you want your package on the next day, Amazon next day delivery, or in 2 days or whatever. It's like, you know what? No, I'll wait a week for it to come, because it's like, I don't know, just like test your patience, work on patience.
Well,
it's the same thing that happens with everything. Fitness, with ordering packages, with the baggage claim stuff. Like, if you're working on patience, that stuff doesn't bother you then. When the plane lands and you have to sit there for 15 minutes for whatever reason, you're not freaking out like everybody else is. And this goes with the whole anxiety thing and this and that. It's like, how much of this has nothing to do with anxiety, and it's just you're fucking impatient?
Sure. So you get anxious, and then you start worrying about things, and then it's like...
Yeah. To where it's like, take a deep breath and wait the 30 seconds for your bag to come around the carousel. Or take a deep breath and, your package is going to come in 3 days, not tomorrow. You'll be fine. You'll get your fucking crop top in the mail. Everything will be good. Like, chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
what I think.
Those are crabby talk.
Yeah, the crab talk.
The crab talk. But I used to love that when Chris D'Elia would go to the airport and he would post on his stories, just like talking behind the phone quietly so no one could hear him. But it would just be like people like standing up. He's like, why are you standing up? Literally, they haven't even opened the gate yet. No one is boarding. You're not even in this group. I can tell you're not in this group.
Yeah.
Dude, I was seeing it like once a week. I'm just like, oh, this is so annoying.
Yeah. Well, and relating it back to fitness, it's like you're going to have patience. If you want to get the results that you're wanting, if you want to reach the goals that you're wanting to reach, you have to have patience. It's not going to happen within the first month that you just start working out. It's like you think about the years and years of potential damage that you've done to your body, of eating poorly, not exercising, not getting outside, all that kind of stuff. And then you want all this shit to just fix itself in a month of you going to the gym a couple times. Like,
you don't deserve that.
No, you don't deserve it. You've
deserve it. I hate the word deserved. You haven't earned it. The body, the space that you've created for yourself and the behavior patterns. Yeah. You created that. No one else forced you to do that. You created that. You made your body look like that. Yeah. So the same thing. You don't get to get out of that maybe bad space or not liking what you look like within a little bit of time or with not a lot of work. Like, you got to enjoy every meal. You got to enjoy not maybe putting in time for working out. You got to enjoy not paying attention to your health.
Yep.
So same amount of time that you put into not doing it.
Yeah, you got to put into doing it and having the consistency and being patient, you know? It good things come to those who wait, you know? Like you got to be patient, do the work consistently, and then you'll get there, you know? It doesn't matter how many ads you see, you know, on YouTube or social media, you know, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, of, you know, get fit in 30 days or 30-day challenge or do this diet and all your dreams will come true. Like, it's hardly ever that. It's the long, boring road that nobody wants to do. That's basically how you get everywhere. You just got to be the one that is patient and courageous enough to take that long, boring fucking road.
Yep.
Like, and just keep going. That's what gets you there.
And that's one thing that's amazing about putting in the time with fitness and health is it like you reap the benefits for so long and to such a deep level. That's like, it's like I said, like I cannot work out as consistently, but as soon as I start, like I bounce right back. Or even my like off times, like my body so badly knows that I'm in the groove of that it doesn't really ever throw me off course. Like I can generally feel good, feel healthy, look good, look healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of that years and years of putting in the time and focus on it.
Yeah.
That I don't have to be as strict or as on top of what I'm eating and how much I'm exercising because that foundation has been built and put in the time to do that it's going to be much easier for me to stay in shape and feel good as I age and having kids and all of the harder body stuff that I think we go through, and my metabolism is going to stay pretty well functioning as I get older too.
Because you work on it.
Yeah. But it's like, it's really long lasting.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like, you know, when people are feeling unhealthy and they want to change things, they feel like it takes a long time to get out of that, you know, and if they slip up, they bounce back to being unhealthy. You know, it's like, well, what have you worked on for a majority of your life? Have you worked on, you know, being healthy and being active and that kind of stuff? Or have you worked on not being healthy and not being active? You know, it's what you're going to bounce back to. Like, just the way it goes. And I guess that's my 2 cents is be patient and be consistent. And you'll basically get anywhere you want to get to.
And that's not even in fitness, I feel like.
Right.
That's just life.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm about ready to refill this, so I think I'm good for this podcast.
I feel like I want to ask you a question, but
Ask me a question.
I don't know what it is.
What do you want to ask me? How do I get these dashing looks? I think it's just genetics.
Okay, I will come up with a question, but can I share one funny story from tonight?
No. I don't want to laugh.
I'm going to anyways. Let's be real. You're not going to find it funny. It's a kid's story. You're not going to find it funny.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes you get me. She's been milking this fucking cut. That one got me.
That was such a cool dad moment. Okay, now there's two. Going to like more of the bratty comment. I asked every class like, what do they think they're good at in this class? And one of the girls like couldn't come up with anything, and she's like a little bit of the younger one, and I was like, okay, well, what's something, like asking the class like, what's something that you think she does good at in this class? And one of the girl goes, she's good at talking a lot. And there's two girls in the class that like they do that stuff. Like it's so passive aggressive, but it is the meanest things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I asked the babies, I was like, what's an animal that lives on a farm? And it was like, chicken, cow, puppy. One of the girls goes, the grass. I was like, Yes.
Yeah.
Not again throwing it to the whole left side of the field with that grass. She's also the same girl that when I asked what was your favorite animal, she said ants. So I was like, okay.
She sees too much cement,
You're-
apparently.
You're consistent with your off the wall answers.
Grass is only for the farms.
Oh my gosh. Well, and she came in. I'm walking down the hallway. She's sitting on her dad's lap. She yells in the hallway, "I'm here." I'm like, okay, didn't think you weren't going to be here.
Yeah.
But her dad was like, we got here and we're sitting here and you weren't in the room. She goes, where's my Miss Courtney? And then she sees me and she says, I'm here. And then she walks in and there's like already these like little tape marks on the floor in a circle, and I let them go pick out, because like they know what drawer it's in. I let them go pick out their own color dot and put it on the tape marks. Well, she brings it over and she puts it in the middle of the circle. And I was like, actually, let's put it on one of the dots so that we can kind of like be in an actual circle and not in like a little clump. She's like, I'm so silly. I don't know why I did that. I was like, you didn't know. Like, you don't try to play it off like.
Yeah.
But just was like, oh, it's so silly. Like, I don't know why I did that. Okay, ma'am.
That's good.
Question for you.
You don't have to ask me a question.
I know, I just feel like I want to, but maybe not.
You can if you want, but I don't want to sit here for 15 minutes while you think of a question.
What is some... Okay, I'll go off on my... No, you're not going to like it. I get too nervous asking you questions because you're going to hate them.
You don't have to be nervous.
Because I feel like anytime that I think they're very surface questions, you think they're so deep. Even though I think it's like super, like... You can't answer this? My question was going to be, what do you think there's something that you do good at? Like, what do you think you're good at?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that way.
See?
Well, I don't, and maybe this is a problem with me, is I'm kind of that person that's like, well, it could always be better. You know?
Yeah, but if you were like, if someone, like you were in a job interview and they're like, what are your pros to you? Why should we hire you? What's something about you that is a quality that is good?
I mean, I do kind of what I feel like everybody probably does and just kind of says what everybody says and just bullshits. Like, you know, I show up on work on time. I'm task orientated. I try to do the thing and get the thing done in a timely manner. Like, I'm not one, like, if I'm coming here to work, I'm here to work. I'm not really here to socialize or, you know.
Yeah. Okay, but even you say
whatever.
like everything could be better. Well, yeah, of course. Everything you possibly do could be better. Always. That's, I think, how most people should see themselves.
Well, and that's
But
kind of
like, what something are you kind of like, but I am pretty good at, like, it could be better, but this is a better quality of myself compared to like that.
And I guess I don't really know because I'm just constantly comparing myself to everybody else. You know, it's like, oh, they're patient. I want to be as, you know, patient like them. So it's like, I'm working on trying to be patient, or they're a hard worker and they put in a lot of effort. Well, I want to do that. You know, it's like, I don't know if I'm good at things. It's like, I'm just kind of doing it and then seeing somebody else do it and, you know, try to do that.
Okay.
It's like, you work really hard and put in a lot of effort. I want to be more like that, you know? And then I look at somebody like your dad. He's done the same job for 30 years. It's like, oh, he's got awesome loyalty. I wish I was loyal like that. I jump from job to job all the time, you know? And it's those sort of things that's kind of how I look at it. I don't really look at myself and go like, oh, what am I good at? It's always like, oh, I see how hard you work. I want to be like you. I see how loyal he is. I want to be like him.
Okay.
You know, I see how patient my mom is. I want to be patient like that. Which, like I said, it maybe is a fault of mine. I don't really sit and go like, oh, what am I good at? Or even like, I mean, I kind of do like, what am I not good at? But it's more like, I'm not good enough at anything. It's like, that's why I go like, oh, I want to be more patient. I want to be a harder worker.
Well, I guess that is something. Like, you're really good at self-improvement, self-analysis. Like, that's something that I'm maybe not able to pinpoint specific things, but like, I mean, I'm able to point out specific things about you that I think you're good at, but that is one consistent and constant with you, is you're always trying to be better and improve yourself and be better than the person that you were yesterday. And
yeah, that may be not such a good thing.
I think there's a balance to it, but I think there's not enough people that self-analyze and go. I think there's a lot of people that go, this is good enough.
Or it's like, I think I'm on the opposite. I do it too much to where, like I said, like nothing's ever good enough. Yeah, it ends up being a detriment and a negative because I'm just constantly like, oh, this isn't good enough. I need to work on this. You know, it's like I can't rest easy because it's like, well, I need to work on something. I need to do something. I need to be better at this or that, or, you know. But
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of what I'm learning too, is just like, sometimes it's just, it is what it is. And maybe just don't put so much thought on it or so much energy on it. Like, all right, I'm this way. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like when I think about it, I'm like, oh, that's so bad that I do that. And then you get all in the feelings and all that type of shit. And then you just make it bad. Where it's like, I don't really think about it that much. I don't really notice it that much. That's just kind of how I go. That if I do feel like it's a detriment, then maybe I should stop or think about it. But I think we do it a lot where we're try to define whether this is good or bad. And it's like, why even think about it? Just live your life.
I try to focus on like how much is this going to affect my life? This detriment that I have. Like me, like I think I'm dumb. Like I don't think I'm very intelligent in the typical sense. That it's like, okay, sure, I could read more and try to be better at freaking, like, I don't like math or learn more about history in the world and what's going on and understanding freaking geography or something stupid. But it's like, what is going to...
The one geographer listening is like, what the hell?
But it's like...
The mathematician's like...
What do I get better at that and try to become smarter and more knowledgeable on things? Or do I just do things that don't require that? Because I'm doing fine, respectively, without that.
I think...
But so it's like, should I just hone in on those things and just continue to do that rather than like, well, I need to become smart now?
I think you've naturally done what you should do. And that's just like, you have found something that you enjoy and you like, and you continue to pursue that and do that, and it's giving you opportunities, and you just keep going in that field. You know, it's like, you may not be great at all of the typical things like you said, but you're learning those things throughout doing what you've done, you know, through being a part of the business side of dance and being a part of the dancer side of dance. And you're learning that industry and that area through and through, that it's like, if that's where you want to be, then why do you need to learn all these other shit? You don't need to learn how to do your taxes. You can pay somebody to do that or have somebody else do it. You know, it's like, and then if things come up to you of interest, okay, then put maybe 5 or 10% into learning something new, because I think that's beneficial of trying to learn new things and trying to continuously grow your knowledge base and whatnot. But like, you're at where you want to be as far as like in the industry or kind, you know, like career wise or job wise, you're in that world that you want to be.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just like, continue to be in that world. That's where you want to be. You don't have to learn how to subtract. You don't have to know, you know, what the interest rates are right now and what that means and all that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like, just focus on what you're doing.
School just framed that of like, that's the things that I'm good at didn't really matter until now.
No, and then when
like,
they do,
it only showed like, you're stupid.
But even when they do, you're learning that within the business now. You're learning how to run a business by not going to business school because you're
Right.
in it. And the person that does run the business wants you to see how it's done and what to do and how things work and what's good, what's bad, and that sort of thing. And it's within the world and the industry that you want to be in. So it's like there was no need for you to learn any of the other shit. You don't need to know what, that an ant isn't an animal. It's an insect. You don't need to know that. You don't need to learn that. That has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Your life is in the world that you're in, and you're lucky enough to be in that, in what you want to be in, that it's like fucking double down on that. Don't worry about interest rates and, housing crisis and taxes and
I mean, those are adult things. I'm talking about like simpler things.
like what?
Like what we learned in school, like math.
But again, that
Where
stuff doesn't even
anything
apply.
is in the world. Like if you could, you tell me what a country is or give me like that kind of stuff, I would not be able to know. I wouldn't know where it is.
Do you plan on going there?
Who knows? But then I guess I'd probably just figure it out then. I
Yeah.
don't need to like research the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's, I've narrowed down to like, do I need this? Is this really going to affect my life? No.
But you're everybody. You're smart in certain areas and dumb in other areas. That's everyone. That's literally everyone.
I think just in my adult life, I'm seeing where my pros are affecting me in a good way. To where growing up, it was only I was only dumb. I didn't have the like, oh well, your pros are beneficial. To me, I knew they were in some areas, but like to the typical person, they're like, no, you're just dumb.
I don't know.
This doesn't help you.
I think that's the way that you felt it and saw it, but you weren't.
Okay.
You're an incredible learner and person who studies. And you were good at dance that whole time, It's like 8 hours of your day was in school, but then fucking 6 of it at night was in dance, and you were exceptional at that. So it's like, and then what one did you end up actually doing?
Right. Yeah.
The one.
Oh yeah.
The one that you liked in the dance stuff. So it's like, it's just what you focus on.
Right.
Somebody tells you you're dumb all the time, and yeah, sure, you're gonna feel that way. But if you look at the other parts of your life, you can definitely find things that you're good at or smart at or whatever. It's just what you want to focus on.
Yeah. And I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I just found, instead of like just focus on the things that you could be better at, or like, oh, I'm not good at this, going like, well, I was told I was dumb all the time, but I also was told, like, not in school, that like I work really hard and I have good work ethic and good drive and focus and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, well, I can't necessarily use that over here somewhat. I can in the ways of like, I always did my work. I always did projects. I always got them done on time. I always tried my hardest. I took classes and took them seriously and was respectful and blah, blah, blah. Did I get good grades?
Yeah.
Yes. Did I do great on tests? No. But
sure.
Did I understand what was happening at all ever? No. But
I think
I was like, okay, but I'm also hearing that I'm hardworking and blah, blah, blah. Where can I use that? Because I can't use these things over here.
Yeah. I think you were good at the things that school somewhat teaches you or is supposed to teach you, is to be consistent and diligent and, do it even when you don't want to do it. And, that's why I think most people got annoyed with the homework or upset with the homework. It's like, if I know it, I know it. Like, I don't need to continue to do it, 400 times. But I think that's what you really learn when you get outside of school, is like just being diligent and showing up every day and doing the thing every day and being consistent and being disciplined and just continuing to show up every single day, day after day after day. It's like, that's what you did. And that's what you learned, is to consistently put in the work every single day for every single class. That's kind of what I think you're supposed to get out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because look at you now. You've done amazing, and you don't have a college degree.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what you needed from it.
Yeah.
That's what you got from it, and that's what you're off to the races now.
Yeah.
You don't need to go back to school and, learn where fucking Russia is or Ukraine is.
Do flashcards again?
we can make flashcards.
No. No. That'll be flashback.
PTSD
Yeah.
flashcard.
It's the speed at which you have to do it.
Yeah.
You remember doing that in like third grade it was fourth grade where it was just like a sheet of multiplication problems and it was timed.
Timetables or whatever. Yeah.
I dreaded that day.
You took the first like 5 minutes just to take breaths.
Well, and then like you would be in these little like desk shapes to where everybody was facing each other. And everybody would finish before me in my group, but they would just look at me like, come on, Courtney, you can do it. You can do it. 30 seconds left. I'm like, this sucks. It's like, maybe I could get this. Like, it's not even that I don't know the answer, but like, you're timing me. And it's like,
Yeah.
pressure. It's like, when would I ever need to do math under these circumstances?
You never know. You never know.
The fear that is instilling me right now, like, I don't need to.
Yeah.
When am I ever in my adult life going to be like, 7 times 7, go?
The world depends on it.
Yeah.
That's all you see in movies.
Oh.
Oh my God. That would be a great like scene in like you remember this, like the scary movies, like Scary Movie 4 or whatever?
Yeah.
They were all just like
dumb,
whatever.
Yeah.
That would be perfect of like Obama's diffusing and it's like, okay, you have to do a timetable. 8 plus 8, 7 times 7.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be amazing. It'd be a funny scene. Is that the only question you wanted to ask me?
Again, it went exactly as I thought.
What?
Nothing. I just need to not ask you questions.
Why? I think it spurred a good
It's part of a good
little
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah.
So there's no harm in it.
Okay.
I'm not weird about it.
Okay.
You're so insecure about it.
Because it turned immediately back to me. It wasn't even a you question.
I thought it was about me a little bit.
Oh, very, very, very little bit. But it was more so like, I don't have good questions to ask you specifically. I'm asking questions that I want to know about you, but it's questions that you're not going to answer.
Well, I answered it. I answered it in the way that was honest to me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So just because my answer doesn't satisfy you.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Because I remember
Burn.
that's right. You did because you did say like, yeah. Okay, never mind. I was confusing two different conversations. Yeah, you're right. You did. Yeah. Cool.
Do you have another question?
I should stop while I'm ahead. I feel like
I'm gonna take my money elsewhere. Well, you good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's end this.
Okay.
Like and subscribe. Follow our Facebook page, The Hub Fitness. Our Instagram @thehub_fitness. And what do you want to tell them?
Nothing. I have nothing to tell you.
Nothing? Okay. Good night.
Good night.